Thousands of years ago, mystics, spiritual leaders, philosophers, religious leaders all discovered and came across an idea of self-concept and identity. This idea has been lost for thousands of years and is a mystical secret. Even people like John Locke 350 plus years ago, or even more recently, Daniel Hume about 250 years ago, coming up with the ideas of human concept and our tendency to think we are the same person we were just 5 years ago. Or even about 50 years ago, Bernard Williams coming up with the idea of questioning the self and thought experiments that showed we're not always the same identity of who we think we are. Many people in this world that know about law of attraction or manifestation have it completely backwards. They're trying to manifest usually an item or thing into their life, a certain amount of money, a vehicle, a person, and those things are fine. But what they're trying to do is manifesting from their current level of identity and current level of consciousness things that are not on that level of frequency. The self-image or the identity or the self-concept is the most important thing in law of attraction, and many teachers don't talk enough about it. The idea of identity or self-concept is everything you believe and accept to be true about yourself, everything you believe and accept to be true about your world and how it functions, its rules and regulations, how things work, and what you believe in. Since identity and self-image and self-concept have been really known for thousands of years, it's been camouflaged in so many different ways. And our society is so wounded and so unhealed in many parts of it that we lost this sacred knowledge. But it's up to you today to relearn and understand this sacred knowledge and bring your life to the next level. If you could truly understand identity and self-concept, grab the concept and also change your identity, results, flow, and things that you've been craving and wanting will flow into your life faster than any other technique or exercise out there when it comes to law of attraction and manifesting what you want. If you can change your identity, you will change virtually everything about you. Your thoughts, your waking beliefs, your unwaking or unconscious beliefs, the feelings you have day to day, the feelings you have longer term, your feeling tones and frequencies around prosperity, abundance, love, connection, etc. Your actions, your behaviors, the reaction of the universe and the results that come into your life. The people you meet, the people you get to know, the reactions of other people, your personal relationships, friends, family, and partners. Everything in your life will start to change, and it will start to coincide with the identity you hold in your unconscious. So many times in life, we actually seek to want things, whether that be more money or love into our life, but we are misguided by understanding if I could just think it, it'll come to pass. Instead, what we want to understand is if I can have my identity be in the same level of my desires, then it shall come to pass. And that's a much more accurate statement in personal development, law of attraction, manifestation ideas. A simple example of the display of an identity or self-image is around health. It's a super easy idea that we're about to talk about that will simplify this identity and self-concept idea. If you were somebody who was always overweight by 50 pounds, you had excess 50 pounds and you really didn't like it, you've had it maybe for a long period, maybe 30 years of your life, 40 years, it's kind of always been that way, or maybe it occurred a little bit later in life. Your thermostat, quote unquote, for your health and weight is excess 50 pounds. Now, a lot of people understand I could go on a diet, I could go to the gym more often, get a personal trainer, get a nutritional plan, and they feel like if I follow that, I'll release the 50 pounds. But how often have you and I witnessed that a lot of people do go to the gym, they start their diets, they start achieving that, losing that, and releasing that weight. But after they do that for 8 weeks, they release the weight. The next 8 weeks, they go right back to square one. If they were 50 pounds overweight, maybe they lost or released 10 pounds, so they're at 40 pounds excess weight. And after another 8 weeks, that 10 pounds that they released and let go of is now right back to them. They're still 50 pounds overweight. Some people do this by year. They'll have a great year where they feel their best health-wise, and then the following year, they put it all back on. Or they do really well with maintaining consistent level of activity in the gym and lifestyle improvements, and then they go back to square one. You see this happen with addiction problems as well. Somebody who was an alcoholic gets rid of their alcoholism, improves their life, and goes right back to it. Or somebody that's hooked on a drug. The same examples apply for financial thermostat. How many of us have had in business or even in a job, you've had a great level of income in a month, maybe in a job you received a bonus, you had some side income come in, and then the next month it seems like everything breaks in your house. Got to fix the oven, got to change out the refrigerator, got to have something else fixed in the house. It seems like you're back to square one with the amount of money in your bank account. Or if you're a business owner, you had a high month at $30,000, and then 2 months later you had your lowest month in 12 months at $9,000. It seems like this constant up and down. The reason for this is your identity and self-concept holds the average of everything that you are believing and accepting to be true about you. So if you had a $30,000 month and then you had an $8,000 month, on average, you're probably floating around $16,000 to $17,000 per month on average, month to month, over and over. Or again, if you're in health related area, you may have a certain weight that you've been at for the last 5 years. It's been about the same weight of your body, been about the same place you've been in. Or for career changes, you've been at the same job for about the same amount of time, getting a 1 to 3 to 4% pay increase annually. So you've been at about the same income, not too many quantum leaps over the last 12 years, 15 years. We see these averages occur because of identity, and that self-concept, one more time, is everything I accept and to believe to be true about myself and my world. Now, why is it if over the last couple of thousand years in recent history as well, philosophers and mystics and different teachers around the world, they have understood this concept. They have changed themselves, they've evolved their identities. But so much of our society, 99+%, never changes their identity. They feel like they've been about the same person the last 5 years. Or they have changed, but again, the essence of who they are still remains the same. It's because we guard our self-images and identities more than anything else. We defend it. There's a part of ourselves, that ego protection, that feels that if I am not this person anymore, I will no longer exist. And the reason why it protects itself from that is because we have deep-seated wounds and traumas that have created this persona in the first place. If you feel like you're a really nice, genuine person, it was a concept formed in childhood and possibly past lives or parallel lives, however you want to see that, that has created the version of you today in that persona. If you feel like you've been a mean person or maybe a jerk or a victim in so many places of your life, it was a concept created in your childhood a long time ago. Since it was created a long time ago, it therefore means you can change it. You can change who you are today. But there will be a battle when it becomes something that you want to change. And the battle is a part of you is going to want to make sure you stay the way you are, and there's a part of you that's going to dream of becoming a greater, upgraded version of you. And until this battle is met with peace, you will continue to experience constant turmoil, friction, and resistance within you when it comes to upgrading who you want to become and what that looks like. When you're changing the self-concept, as you start making peace, you will start to again relay and understand your thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors, and reaction from the universe will change. A perfect example, we've all experienced something where we learned at some point something brand new. Maybe you felt like you were never somebody that was going to do something at a certain time, but you achieved it, you did something about it, and it worked out and you feel different about yourself today. An example in childhood is most people learn to ride a bicycle at a very early age. Not everybody in the world, but most people learn how to ride a bicycle, starting with training wheels. Again, not everybody, it might not be you, but most people. The child only believes he can get on the bike or she can get on the bike with the training wheels, and that's it. They don't have the ability to do something different. But a very empowering parent or guardian will help them take those training wheels off, hold them steady while they're balancing for the first time, and let go and allow that child to try to balance on 2 wheels and go somewhere without the training wheels. Now that kid, if they succeed in balancing that bicycle on 2 wheels, they have automatically shifted their self-concept. Unconsciously, they will start to feel, I am somebody who is talented enough and skilled enough to ride a 2-wheel bicycle. That sounds like a very simple example, but this is what we're doing month after month, year after year with our lives. Most of us, when we grow up into our adult years, we start to doubt, we start to worry, we start to really think limitations about ourselves. And it's because we have a very limited identity. Simple example, if I ask you the question right now, could you actually earn an extra $100,000 in the next 30 days? What would you say? For the more advanced souls with more money progress and growth oriented and really being in alignment, they'd say, yeah, I probably could do that. Or I've done that in the past, so of course I could do that. Or I have not done it, but I do believe I have the talent, skills, and abilities to allow that to happen. To more beginner souls in terms of money development and growth, it will seem like, Scott, that's a joke. That's impossible. How in the world would I have $100,000 come into my life? Where in the world would $100,000 even come from? When would I even have that come in? Would it be at day 30, day 15? I have too much uncertainty. Are you sure this could actually work out? Do you ever question this? Why is two different people with two different levels of experience saying different answers? Why does one believe and one doubt? Where does that come from? Is it really you doubting? Is it really you believing? Or is it something else? I'm going to guess that you would agree that it's something else. It's not you. And if it's something else, what is that something else? Well, that something else must be a part of you, but not the true you. It's a wounded part of you from childhood or teenage years or some other part of your life that somebody gave you old money paradigms or old money beliefs. Somebody once told you that being rich and wealthy was maybe morally and ethically not okay. Maybe some religious disposition provided you thoughts and feelings about money that didn't seem to go along with $100,000 in a month. Whatever the limitation is, it's stuck there in your psyche and you feel like it's part of you. You feel like this is my level of identity. Of course, I'm not going to have $100,000 come in 30 days. That's not me. You see the trouble with the law of attraction and manifestation, trying to manifest something that you want, but you're not on the level of believing that's who you are to manifest that. No wonder why so many of us get so frustrated and stuck and in plateau with the law of attraction concept of like attracts like, or just visualize it and do your affirmations and it will come to pass and manifest into what you want. Or write down on a gratitude pad all the things you're so grateful for and allow that to bring in your results. Those techniques are all fantastic. I in fact teach a lot of those in smaller versions to empower those that are on the path of changing their self-concept. But before those techniques can actually work, before I teach anybody those style concepts or ideas, we have to go a lot deeper. We have to dip into the energetic side of parallel realities, the energetic side of self-concept, self-image, and identity. A couple of things you may want to consider in changing and shifting your identity. 4 steps to it. Number 1, embodiment. How would you walk if you were earning a certain caliber of money? I'm serious about this. How would you hold yourself? When you're cooking breakfast in the morning, how would you think? How would you feel about your day? What version energetically would you start to embody in a new level of identity? Second, actions, behaviors-wise, if you were an evolved identity at a certain level of income, a certain level of health and weight in your body, a certain level in terms of love and connection in your personal relationships, how would you talk? What would you speak about? What would you compliment others about? Would you find the bad or would you find the good? Would you compliment or complain? What would you talk about overall? Third, what kind of questions would you ask yourself? If you were in a limited consciousness, you would probably ask yourself things like, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Why, God, would you make this pushed into my life? Why me? Why would you do this to me? How could this ever even come to pass in my life? Am I even worthy of this amount of money? Can I even do this? These limited concepts are the limited identity. But if you're at a more empowering identity, what kind of questions would you ask yourself? Why am I so good at this? Why is money so good for me? Why am I so good at holding an ideal weight in my body? Why do I love quantum leaping? Why am I an inspiration to everybody around me? What more empowering actions can I take today? You see the difference in question? It's a different level of frequency, which is therefore a different level of arranged consciousness. That third part right there in asking yourself more empowering questions is going to take some effort. It's going to take some time, and it's going to feel unfamiliar. We're going to go through that in just a moment. So level 4 here, out of the 4 steps I'm mentioning, it's starting to become unfamiliar. I actually want you to change your rules. What is your rules for money? What are those rules? What does that look like? Well, most people have rules around money of $100 is a lot of money. Is it? $1,000 is a lot of money. Is it? I have to work hard to earn money. Do you? I only know how to work for about $20 to $30 an hour. Are you sure about that? I want you to write down these thoughts that you might be having specifically around any area of life. I'm using money as an example, but I've been using many examples in this. So it could be around health, it could be around love and relationships, it could be about dream homes and cars and vehicles, whatever it is, career success, job change, business quantum leaps, business profitability. Just pick one area of life and go through what you think your rules are. Your rules are your limitations. So check. Check inner conscious. What thoughts are coming up around limitations? And I want you to change those rules to something that's very unfamiliar. $100,000 is a lot of money. You could say, is it? Of course, but that's a better rule than $100 is a lot of money. You can also say a rule is $1,000 is very little money. Now, these concepts, there's a part of you that's not going to agree with. There's a part of you that's going to argue back with everything I'm saying here. Well, you don't understand, Scott. I don't get paid that much money. $100 is a lot of money for me. Is that you talking to me, or is that the wounded identity part of you talking to me? This is where we want to get to, that you can listen into the words I'm saying here and accept them. And if that part of you is talking over that and telling me why all the reasons why this is not true for your life, that is the part that needs to be healed. That is why you're not manifesting as fast as you could, because you believe you're that voice. You believe that the voice that's talking to you is accurate, it's logical, and it makes sense. In order to change your identity and shift your life and transform it in terms of manifesting in what you want, you need to realize that voice is not accurate. It's not logical. And in fact, it's there to limit you. The reason why it's there to limit you is it's there to protect you. It's associations around bigger amounts of money and more love and connections and miracles and flow. It feels unsafe with having those. So your nervous system capacity to actually have and keep these things that you're wanting is very low. That's why the voice speaks, because it's trying to protect you from possible impending emotional danger. We'll talk about that in another video. A lot of people used to say, like, Scott, well, how do I walk as if I'm earning 7 figures? You walk in awareness that you're already there. You talk as if you're already there. You feel as if you're already there. Easier said than done. It's going to take you effort. And if you're used to, for example, going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, I need you to go to the mental gym 3 to 5 days a week. Start to get familiar with the level you want to be at in your imagination. Start to be familiar with that level of frequency and what that is, and embodying that level daily. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. It's going to take dedication. And there's going to be a lot of moments where you don't feel like doing it. You only don't feel like doing it because that's your limited version and identity, yet again, controlling your life. One of the biggest last concluding notes here and ideas is, remember, consistency of that new identity that's unfamiliar will become familiar. The 6-figure level, if you want that, it'll start to become familiar. Going through these 4 concepts will help you arrange your consciousness according to where you want to go. And my promise to you is that as you start to rearrange your consciousness level, your identity, self-image, self-concept, you will start to see better, improved manifestation levels coming into your life within 30 days. I've seen it happen with all my students. That's why I can guarantee it. I've seen it happen in my own life. I've worked with over 1,700 students now. Every single one of them that followed my direction, followed exactly what it is that I've discovered from my own life, tested, experimented with, improved in my own life, and then gave that to them, they've also seen the result as well. It's not magic though. I'm not saying all my clients became millionaires in 30 days. That's BS. Anybody tells you that, they're probably wrong. But what I am saying is in 30 days, you'll see something that you've been craving probably for the last 3 years, or at least the last 6 months. You've been trying, but things haven't panned out. If you run with the 4 ideas here, listen into this video every day over and over, it'll start to become who you are, and that's your new improved identity. Part of who you need to become is having this level of awareness we're talking about in this video stuck here every day, all day, so you don't get stuck in the day-to-day chaos situations and challenges that come up for you. So my last suggestion here is that you watch this video every day consecutively for 60 days. It's a long time, but you want this video to become your level of awareness. And probably when you jump off this video, oh, I gotta go make lunch. I gotta go do this job task. Oh, somebody's craving my attention to do this thing. You're gonna get distracted. You're gonna lose this level of awareness. You're gonna be back at square one. So it's why constant repetition of the same video with that awareness is going to help you out tremendously. And what I would suggest you do is every day, after you watch the video, place done in the comments below. Done day 1, done day 2. After you see somebody else like it on our community channel here, like they're done. Because the more you give, the more you're going to receive. The more you're used to celebrating other people's progress, the more you're going to have progress. The more you love having and watching others and witnessing others win, the more you're going to win. Why? Because you're getting familiar with the identity of winning, and the familiar identity of celebrating, and the familiar identity of staying accountable, dedicated, and consistent. 60 days, it's a big task, but I know you can handle it. Thanks for doing great work, and thanks for visiting the video today. Thank you for being you. And thank you for rising and evolving to your highest level of identity. I look forward to seeing you over in the next video. I also look forward to seeing your 60 days in a row of dedicated commitment to shifting your self-image, your self-concept, and ultimately evolving and transforming your life to that next level.